All right, let's get going. Welcome, Moses, Erwin, and Brian. Uh, okay. Select exam type CBAP. Okay. Hmm.
It's past 6:30. On.
All right, get going. There you go. And underlying competencies. So yeah, FYI, this is the chapter that Thea wrote. So
This one, the techniques and the glossaries are my contributions.
nice.
Well, me and a team of four other people. So I'm not alone.
I see. That's cool. All right. So question number one. Let's get right into it. All of you are allowed to talk. Is everyone allowed to chat? Let me double check. I have to switch this on manually every time. Okay, everyone can chat with everyone now. So, um, so we want you to participate, of course. Just like usual. So if you know the answer to this question, you can type it through chat or feel free to speak up. Okay, so question number one, sadly, the BA was in the process of conducting training and noticed that members of the class were having difficulty retaining the information. She's currently using PowerPoint slides supported by written material. What might you suggest she try? A, include more graphics. B, more frequent review of the material. C, assessments. They would pay better attention if they knew they were going to be tested. D, add a kinesthetic component.
We've got 1A in the chat.
Okay. Anyone else?
Even if you guess, you have a 25% chance of getting it right. We've got a D in the chat.
Okay, we need a tiebreaker. Or one of you explain. Brian, what is a kinesthetic component? And B. Okay, everyone is thinking different things. More frequent review of the material, include more graphics, add a kinesthetic component. Which one should we go with? Okay, I don't think it's more graphics because I don't know, well, it could be more graphics. Because it says it's supported by written material.
We don't know that there's not graphics on the PowerPoints. More graphics might be interesting though. It doesn't talk about how frequently they're reviewing the material in the question, so we don't have information of that.
Right.
I would like to suggest that we check D.
D.
Aesthetic appointment component means that we're going to do something that they're going to be involved in hands-on interaction.
Gotcha. All right.
That's right.
And that is correct. Kinesthetic learning by doing is the only learning technique Sally doesn't appear to be using at this time. Nice. Lexi is communicating business analysis information to resource managers via email every Monday, as per the stakeholder management approach. Lexi is frequently contacted by several of those same resource managers asking about information that was already emailed. What should Lexi do to resolve this breakdown in communication? A, begin scheduling weekly conference calls to provide a forum for follow-up discussion. B, replace the emails with weekly meetings with minutes that can be referenced after the meeting. C, refer the resource managers to the email. D, Lexi needs to engage stakeholders to ensure they understand the information being communicated and that the email is an effective mode of communication. Yes, Moses, we are posting all the recordings to YouTube. So Brian says A, begin scheduling weekly conference calls to provide a forum for follow-up discussion. Anyone else? Shalza, welcome. Also says A.
Let's check A.
Is that your final answer? Okay. I knew this would be incorrect. The correct response is this is letter D. Although A may end up being a viable alternative, but at this point may result in redundant work. So this may be too much, depending on the nature of these updates that are needed. Maybe doing too many calls is overkill. So letter D is correct. So this response is aligned to Babok. You need to know the mode of information that your audience is good with. Number 3, as a BA, you have been effective in reducing resistance to necessary changes. As such, which underlying competency have you most demonstrated? A, negotiating and conflict resolution. B, teaching. C, persuasion. D, leadership and influencing. Do you know your underlying competencies?
So we can eliminate persuasion because that's not one of the underlying competencies. In fact, it doesn't appear anywhere in the Babok.
So, Shazeb says it's D. Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone who agrees or disagrees? All right, let's lock in D. Thank you. And that is correct. Reduced resistance to necessary changes is listed as one of the effective measures for leadership and influencing. Good job.
Good.
So number 4, how would the core concept of stakeholder be applied to the elicitation and collaboration knowledge area? A, the BA acknowledges that all stakeholders may participate in different roles and at different times during a change and plans accordingly. B, the BA identifies stakeholders. C, the BA analyzes stakeholders to understand their preferences. D, the BA communicates with various stakeholders in accordance with their preferences.
This is a great question that really shows us that it can have all the answers are true, but one answer is best according to the Babok.
Yeah, that's true.
We have no answers yet in chat, and no one's coming off mute to speak. We do have 6 participants, however.
So to Brian, it's D, the BA communicates with various stakeholders in accordance with their preferences. And to Shazab, it's A. The BA acknowledges that all stakeholders may participate in different roles and at different times during a change and plans accordingly.
Do we have a tiebreaker?
Yeah, B and C are easily eliminated. I would have been torn between A and D myself. And the tiebreaker is A. Thank you, Judge Omar.
Test it.
And that is correct. Good job.
Let's check D and see what it says. Why and D was wrong.
Sure. So it's a bit too narrow to apply to this core concept.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So go back and select A and check answer again so you get the correct score whenever it
All
scores.
right. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Assume you are working on a large multicultural project and you have a business expert for whom English is not their native language. Some of the business terms you use do not have the same meaning to you both, stalling progress on eliciting her requirements. How could you effectively address this situation? A, respectively, end the interview and seek requirements from another expert in the business in that business domain. B, the different terms are barriers to communication, and both parties need to align their mental models to ensure requirements are listed properly. Develop a glossary. C, the key stakeholder does not realize she is using the wrong terms, and you need to correct her in order to gather her requirements. D, document her requirements using her terms, and then ask another expert in that business domain to confirm them to ensure understanding. So I guess it goes without saying that you're assuming that you are a native English speaker.
In this case, it would be English, but it could be any language. You know,
Mm,
just replace English for whatever language it is.
right.
But it doesn't have to be by language. It could just be by experience. You know, for instance, people in the insurance industry use the insurance terms as though everyone should know what they're talking about, but not everyone does. And they may have had different experiences that taught them the word means something different. So you really have to be careful.
Interesting. Yes.
We have 1B. I like B as well.
All right. And so does
2B.
Enzo. That's lock that in. Thank you. And that is correct. So a glossary defines key terms relevant to the business domain, thereby promoting better communication among all stakeholders.
I want to say that even outside of interviewing stakeholders, just even in Agile or using any framework or terminology, you just need to be sure everyone understands what the words mean and agree on a term to use. It doesn't really matter what the term is, as long as everyone understands it.
Oh yeah, definitely. All about alignment and making sure everyone understands on the same page.
Right.
Larry, the BA, is responsible for developing the business case for a project that his firm is recommending in the insurance industry. Oh, yeah, you were just talking about that. Which of the following business knowledge competencies would Larry use? A, organization knowledge, methodology knowledge, and industry knowledge. B, business acumen, industry knowledge, business case knowledge. C, financial analysis knowledge, business acumen, and industry analysis knowledge. I wonder what the writing process was for these chapters.
For the Babak,
Yeah. Did you have a separate research team, or was that you guys as well?
it was us. We took version 2 and went through it and said, okay, this is outdated, this isn't complete, this needs to be split, and we had the conversations amongst ourselves. So honestly, it ended up being who had the strongest personality and what they wanted. So we had to really negotiate with each other. Some of us had to step up and learn how to be strong.
Okay.
And then it was edited and reviewed and stuff, but we had to do the initial. We have no answer so far on this question. So because it's a business case, oh, we have a C. Good,
There
thank
you
you.
go. All right, we have 2 C's. Let's lock that in.
Very good.
And that is not incorrect. Financial analysis is not listed as a business knowledge competency. Although it's a technique, right? So gotta be careful of that. Okay, thank you. Which of the following, sorry?
I'm sorry, your screen didn't change. I was still looking at it. But
All
we're
right,
learning.
question number 7. There you go. Thank you. Which of the following categories of underlying competencies described in the BABO. A, business knowledge, communication skills, retrospective skills. B, communication skills, interaction skills, analysis skills. C, tools and technology, communication skills, systems analysis. D, interaction skills, communication skills, business knowledge. Oh yeah, I think we have an answer. Or oh no, you don't.
Not yet.
So were you involved at all in the previous Baboks?
No. No, I was teaching for the Kansas City chapter, and someone said, "Hey, Theo would be good for this," and so I got invited to participate for version 3.
Interesting. Were any of you involved in the previous?
Oh, some of the people. There were hundreds of people involved in version 3. Uh, some of them were just editors, some of them were reviewers, but there were, let's say there were 5 of us involved in chapters 9, 10, and the glossary. So I'm assuming that there were the same involved in groups of the other chapters. We've got a couple of answers. We've got some B's and we've got 1 D. We've got 3 B's though.
All right, majority
skills and
wins. Majority is wrong. Okay.
So the
So
reason this is wrong is analysis skills is analytical thinking and problem solving. It's not analytical analysis skills.
right.
Seems like it's right if you just look at it quickly. But D does have the correct verbiage in it.
Right.
Good job, Erwin.
Yeah. Matt is the lead BA on a project team that will standardize a continuous business process and automate it. The team has a limited amount of time to elicit requirements. One of the BAs on the project is not comfortable with the elicitation techniques chosen for the report for the project. How should Matt deal with this problem? A, meet with the BA in person to discuss her concerns. B, find another BA to work on the project who is more comfortable with the elicitation techniques. C, send the BA an email with an explanation of why the techniques were chosen. D, insist that the BA use the elicitation techniques due to the limited time available. So this is question number 8.
Nothing yet. We have an A.
Okay, a couple of A's. Let's lock that in. Discuss the concerns. That is correct. So trustworthiness, leadership, and teamwork skills are needed to effectively work through the BA's concerns and resolve. All right.
In the real world, this is what we would do. We wouldn't demand somebody use something, especially if they have concerns. They might have a good reason. We might need to consider their reasoning.
Right. And you want to promote the growth of that BA, right? Instead of just swapping for someone
Right.
who's
Right.
Your organization has purchased a new requirements management tool. Some of the BAs and other team members find it difficult to learn. You have used a different tool in a previous organization, but you find that you can easily track changes to requirements with this tool as well and share your expertise with everyone. You are demonstrating which underlying competency. A, problem solving, B, organization and time management, C, business analysis tools and technology, D, industry knowledge.
You've got one C.
All right,
We've
that was
got
the
two.
first last one. Good job. That is correct. Business analysis tools and technology. Stephen is preparing for a requirements review of several use cases with a large group of stakeholders who are not familiar with the technique. How should he best familiarize the stakeholders with use cases? A, prepare an overview of use cases and make a presentation to the large group. B, prepare a training session with exercises and materials. C, ask them to attend a training class on use cases. D, tell them to ask questions whenever they don't understand something. Question number 10.
The key to this is it's a large group of stakeholders. I've got one A. I've got two A's.
Okay, so let's check that answer. And that is incorrect. So the correct answer is a short training session could focus the teaching on the stakeholders need to be able to review use cases.
One of the keys reason that B is right instead of A is making a presentation does not hit very many of the learning styles. And if you've got a large group, you've got a wide variety of learning styles, and you can't even do an evaluation of what everyone's learning style is. If you do a training session with exercises and materials, you're getting all the learning styles. You're able to cover the kinesthetic, the auditory, everything. So that's why whenever it's a large group, you've got to consider, you've got to cover all the different learning styles.
All right, very interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. Which of the following accurately describes the difference between business knowledge and industry knowledge? A, business knowledge is one component of industry knowledge. There are several further components of business knowledge, including understanding and providing value and the context, business climate in which organizations function. B, business knowledge and industry knowledge are fundamentally the same. Both require fundamental understanding of the principles surrounding the context in which business analysis work is done. C, industry knowledge is one component of business knowledge. D, business knowledge requires an understanding of fundamental business principles, while industry knowledge requires an understanding of the market context surrounding the business analysis work. Is that a typo? Yes, that is.
Got a typo?
Yeah, down here.
Oh, yes. If you put your cursor there, I'll
Here.
catch it, and then they can fix it. Got it. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Business knowledge and industry knowledge. These terms are both referenced in my skills framework.
I'd like to see that whenever you finish it. Actually, I need to have a whole different conversation with you later.
Sure.
Any ideas on the answer for this, guys?
Oh. My microphone just Oh, my mic's really having problems. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Okay, question 11. Erwin says A, business knowledge is a component of industry knowledge.
And we have a D.
Shazab says D, the one with a typo. Business knowledge is fundamental business principles, while industry knowledge is understanding of particular markets. And we have a C, nobody agrees.
Why don't we test C?
We need Brian or Moses to,
Oh, we've got two
So there's-
C's.
two of you that say C, let's go with that. And that is correct. Industry knowledge is one component of business knowledge. So it's the reverse of A.
So wait a second, wait a second. A is not correct because it's reversed.
If a BA was trying to understand how a major change to a process impacted the organization, and they were trying to identify the reinforcing feedback loops and understand how the system adapted to external pressure and changes, the BA was utilizing which competency? Problem solving, systems thinking, decision analysis, learning. I think this is also could be improved, no? Comma instead of. Okay, which underlying competency are we talking about here? So major change in the process, what's the impact of the organization?
We've got one
And
D.
identifying reinforcing feedback loops. So understanding again impact
We've got a
and
D in the.
understanding how the system adapted to external pressures and changes. So both within and without the organization, the BA is trying to understand impact. So Judgemeyer says D, learning. Anyone else?
We've got two
And
Ds.
Shazab agrees. So let's check that out. That is incorrect. It's actually systems thinking. The key to that is you're looking at the impact of a major change to the organization and to different components that interact with the organization. Okay, but thank you for answering. Which of the following are effective measures of industry knowledge? A, understanding how additional capabilities that are present but not currently used can be deployed to provide value. B, having knowledge of major competitors and partners. C, understanding of the terminology or jargon used in the organization. D, knowledge of and ability to use office productivity tools and technology prescribed by the organization. Excuse me.
If you're not familiar with underlying competencies, effectiveness
How do you
measures are
effectively measure industry knowledge?
Manu,
Question
I
number
don't think
13.
anymore.
No, I can't hear you. Oh
I was
no,
wondering,
your mic is busted too.
can anyone else hear me? Okay, they can hear me, but you can't hear me.
Okay, all right, there you go.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, we will talk to Manu in chat.
I don't hear you, Thea. Huh, that's weird. Let's see. Maybe it's a problem with me audio settings. Ah, it is me. All right. I have a problem. Can you try saying something, Thea?
I will say something. Can you hear
Yes.
me now?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. I'm so glad.
It was me.
Okay, so the effectiveness measures in underlying competencies is just like the outputs in the knowledge areas. So for that task in the knowledge area, for underlying competencies, it's your effectiveness measures to be able to know how to measure if you're doing well. So that's what this is talking about.
All right. We have an answer. We have C from Moses. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Moses.
Let's check on that answer. And that is incorrect. So it's not just jargon of an organization. So you're talking about industry knowledge. So it's across different players in the industry. So major knowledge on major competitors and partners who's involved in the industry. Among other things, um, there's other things talked about industry knowledge, but that was the correct one among the four. Okay, 14. A business analyst displays what when they demonstrate an understanding of fundamental principles and best practices that get incorporated into and supported by solutions. A, systems thinking, B, business knowledge, C, systems knowledge, D, people knowledge.
So we can eliminate some of these because they're not in the Babok. But which one is the right answer?
Which underlying competency? So Moses has its C. All right. And we have another answer. I know, I'm sorry, Moses has its B. Let's lock
Yes.
that in. Thank you, Moses. And that is correct. Good job.
Very good, Moses.
A
Notice
conflict is a,
Moses a lot of
sorry.
right answers. Moses is getting a lot of right answers.
Yeah, he's on a roll.
On a roll.
So this is a good sign if you're planning to take the exam, Moses. A conflict has emerged between two stakeholders about conflicting requirements, and you are facilitating a mediation meeting between them. All efforts to achieve a compromise in the meeting so far have failed. What is one of the best things to do now to try to break the deadlock before ending the meeting? A, there is nothing a BA can do in the situation other than to adjourn the meeting and escalate the issue to the project manager. B, tell them that the meeting will not adjourn until an agreement can be reached. C, warn them that the sponsor will have to impose a resolution if the parties cannot agree. D, explain the impact and consequences that the stakeholders' failure to agree will have on the project.
I don't think A lines up with what the Babok would say. What do you think, Nina?
Me neither. Yeah, I agree with you. Not A.
We've got 1D.
And that's from Shazeb. Thank you. I think we can lock that in.
And we've got
And
2D.
Moses agrees. So that's right.
Yes.
Moses,
very good.
your streak continues, and good job, Shazeb.
Yes, Shazab, you're doing awesome.
Which of the following are good examples of interaction skills? A, facilitation, negotiation, leadership, influencing, and teamwork. B, facilitation, teaching, leadership, influencing, and listening. C, facilitation, verbal communication, leadership, influencing, and teamwork. D, facilitation, negotiation, leadership, adaptability, and teamwork. For 16, still waiting. Is that right? Are we still waiting for an answer for 16?
Yes, we are. We've got a C and we've got an A.
Okay.
So what's the difference between C and A? C has verbal communication and A has negotiation. We need a tiebreaker. Anyone else have an opinion? We've got a second C.
All right, that's a tiebreaker. Let's check that out. And that is incorrect. A is actually correct. So it's not verbal communication.
That is correct.
Because non-verbal communication is actually important too. Requirements management technologies provide functionality that can assist the business analyst in managing requirements. What functionality might be included in a requirements management system? A, requirements workflow traceability and configuration management. B, tracking requirements risk, conflicts, issues, and defect tracking. C, baselining, approvals and sign-off, quality control, and implementation status. D, creation of models, executables, and traceability of visual models to business rules and textual requirements. Number 17. We have about 3 minutes left. So about 1 minute per remaining question. So Shazeb says D. Let's lock that in and check it out. Thank you. That, however, is incorrect. The correct answer is requirements, workflow, traceability, and configuration management. Requirements management technologies can provide requirements workflow management, traceability support, and configuration management. So that's how it's listed in BABA. So number 18, you have published and distributed a hard copy of your requirements package to your stakeholders. Which of the following is the most important consideration regarding this type of written communication? A, you need to ensure you get sign off on the document. B, you have included all of your diagrams. C, you need to adjust the style of writing to the needs of your audience. D, nothing. You will explain everything in the requirements walkthrough. Okay, well, you know it's not D. All right, we are the last 1 minute of the session. This is the part where you just start guessing. That's
Moses
not
says A.
correct though. So the right answer is that you see, you need to just adjust the style of writing to the needs of your audience. Okay, so more important than sign off is that your audience, depending on who they are, if they only need high level information or some style of detail, that's more important. Sathi is a business analyst working for a large telecommunication company in India. She is engaged in a new business process transformation project. She has captured requirements for a new system to be implemented. Her key stakeholder is Rajan. When she reviewed the requirements with him, she sensed that Raj was not satisfied with the current list of requirements. Raj has mentioned that some of the requirements listed will not meet the needs of his department. Those requirements came from Rajan's manager. What should Sathi do in this situation? A, Sathi must escalate the conflict with requirements to the project manager. B, Sathi's hands are tied, and she has not much to say here. After all, Rajan will understand his boss's requirements will always be get more weightage. C, Sathi should ask Steve to talk to his boss, resolve the conflict, and finalize what the requirements should be. D, Sathi must find a way to resolve the conflict either by facilitating a formal meeting between Rajan and his manager or through self-research or by apply other methods of collaboration to finalize requirements. Okay, and thank you to Thea. This is the second to the last question. We are a little bit over time, so I understand those that needed to drop. All right. Shazab says D. So let's check that. And Judge Amor says C. So let's check what C would have gotten us. So as a business analyst, you are a neutral facilitator. So that's the important thing to understand here. But let's go back to C since we chose that to begin with. Good job, Shazab. Thank you, Jejomar. Which of these facilitation practices is an effective way to deal with most types of difficult people situations? A, use a timeout and remove the disruptive person from the room, from the group. B, ignore the difficult person. C, create and enforce ground rules dealing with difficult behavior. D, take control of the group when disruptive behavior occurs. I like how it says difficult people situations and not just difficult people. That's the last one for the session. And you guys have 10 out of 19 so far. So Shazeb and Erwin say C, create and enforce ground rules. All right, I agree. And that is correct. So good job, 11 out of 20. Well, that wouldn't be a passing score. You'd actually need 75% or higher, depending on the group that you're part of. But thank you so much for participating. We will post the results and the recording so that you can refer back. And we will make that available. So the last one was not shared. Yes, we will post, we'll make sure all the videos and the answers are posted, and we will share that with you. And thank you. Yeah, we'll get back to you on that. And at this point, I have to wrap up the session. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you on the next one.